name is Albert Gross. I was wondering if you might have a moment to discuss your eternal happiness.
Yeah, sure. Come on in.
Through a global preaching campaign, God is making known the good news about his kingdom governed by Jesus Christ. Those who respond are gathering into a place of spiritual protection and healing. Soon we'll experience freedom from all injustice and suffering.
Seems to me like just the opposite is happening.
That's because human government is still under the control of Satan. The perfect government is in heaven. From there, the King Jesus Christ will rule all the earth.
So how do you think King Jesus plans to address the ever-widening holes in the ozone layer? Or the missing stockpiles of weapons-grade plutonium?
Well, I think that God will solve all of mankind's problems in his own way.
Albert, look, this is an enormously complex world we live in, and its problems are multiplying every day. Now, we're not going to solve those problems by going door to door and asking people to get down on their knees and pray to the sky. Shouldn't a bright young man like you be doing something constructive? I'm going to write down a couple of websites for you to check out that will hopefully enlighten you a little bit.
I mean, everything happens for a reason.
No, fuck off. Fuck that one to the ground. Everything happens for a reason. What a crock. You say there's a reason Grandma lost her legs, and there's a reason there's a war and tsunamis, and there's a reason George fucking Bush got reelected. Shit goes wrong because there's evil in the world.
Holy shit. I think this shit's my cousin. Watch out! Dude, you almost hit that guy.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
Well, he, came from nowhere.
But it's not just the wives who need to give themselves freely to their husbands within the blessed confines of the marriage bed. Husbands need to surrender as well, because...
Praise the Lord.
Women have desires too.
Exactly.
And those wifely desires are meant by God to be satisfied by their husbands.
Even when we may not feel like it.
Right, Bonnie. Like that ever happens.
So this is how through marriage, we create the Garden of Eden again, without shame and without sin.
Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. Sweet Jesus. Sweet Jesus. Oh, sweet Jesus. Lord, get me.
According to witnesses, she just got out of her car and ran into traffic.
Do they know why?
No. I suppose we'll never know.
Well, my heart goes out to you. It's horrible. Not knowing exactly what happened to someone you loved.
It was her time. That's all.
The Lord works in mysterious ways.
Yes. He certainly does.
So, Mr. Sheedy, would you prefer an afternoon or an evening?
I'm sorry. I just think in the interest of healthy grieving, Mr. Sheedy, you need to give yourself permission to at least be curious as to why your wife would jump out of her car and run into traffic. For no apparent reason.
Why? It's not going to bring her back.
Nate, I believe Rico could use your assistance downstairs.
Right. I'm very sorry for your loss.
You made her look so beautiful. Well, you and God.
Oh, that's our job. Not me and my associates, I mean, not me and God.
So how are you holding up?
Quite well. Thank you for asking.
It's okay for you to be angry.
I'm not angry.
Maybe you just don't realize it. Maybe you should know anger is a very natural and necessary stage in the grieving process.
Nate.
You can't just skip over it. Believe me, I've been there. You have to live with it and allow yourself to dwell on it. You have to own it. Only then are you going to have any chance of moving through it and getting on with the rest of your life.
I know there's a reason God chose this for Dorothy. And I know that his wisdom is infinite.
What if you're wrong?
I'm not.
What if there is no God? No heaven?
Nate,
What if she's just gone forever? Like she didn't even exist? And now you have a child who will never know his mother. That doesn't make you angry?
Nate, it's all right. No, it's not. If you'll excuse us for a moment. Please. That's enough.
I am just trying to help the guy face the truth. What? I'm uniquely qualified, don't you think? I'm a funeral director and my wife is freshly fucking dead? Who's more qualified than me?
This isn't about you, okay? Leave these people alone.
Look, you want to leave them alone? Fine, you leave them alone, but don't expect me to feed them lame shit like it's gonna get better, because it won't. And people need to know that. I can't believe you can't see this. He's just using that happy she's on her way to Jesus horseshit to distance himself from the truth. The man lost his wife. He's facing, you know, one of the worst things that can possibly happen to a person, and I just think that he needs to feel. He needs to really, really feel the loss and then you know, the rage.
Nate, everyone handles their grief in a different way.
He was nowhere even near actual grief.
Maybe he's just trying to keep it together in front of his son.
Yeah, wouldn't want the kid to bump up against reality. Would want to prepare him for actual life.
Maybe the man has faith.
In what, God?
Yes, in God. And maybe his faith in God is what sustains him.
Well, he's not sustained. He's totally fucking checked out. Look, you gotta go through all the necessary stages of grief. That's how you honor what the person actually meant to you.
I know a lot of mammals made for life, but most primates don't.
We're human beings, not primates.
We share 98.8% of the same DNA as a chimpanzee. We're more closely related to them than they are to gorillas. The problem is not nuclear war. The problem is what's going to cause nuclear war.
I don't see us living through a nuclear war, George.
Of course not. Not a whole lot of people will.
No, I mean in our lifetime. I don't see it happening.
I married the glass is half full girl.
Which time? Oh, this time. Of course, yes. What was I thinking?
This decaf is so cinnamony.
Isn't it?
I think when the next A-bomb is launched, it'll be over God.
Whose?
Exactly. The fundamentalists, Islamic, Christian, and otherwise, are all going to conspire to end the world the way all their holy books said it would, with a big war.
Yes, but all those theologies have a message of hope and brotherly love in them, too, to counterbalance the irresistible force of self-fulfilling prophecy. Whereas corporatism...
We know, Dad. You think it'll all be about oil, just like everything else. Oil.
Close. Water.
Oh.
The apocalypse will be over water. Who has it, who wants it, and what they're willing to do to get it.
But global warming, isn't it? I thought that's supposed to melt the glaciers or something.
Well, if you like your water salty, I guess that's the good news. But what about rising sea levels? Or the disruption of the thermal haline conveyor? That's the Gulf Stream.
Oh.
Have you checked?
What are you doing down here? It's past midnight.
It's fucking unbelievable. When you have all this information laid out in front of you like this, it's a wonder anyone can get up in the morning.
Well, no one's getting up in the morning at this rate. Come to bed.
In a minute. Take a look at this site.
Oh.
Well, the graphic is a little simplistic. It was obviously designed for the layman. But you can literally watch the world's potable water supply dripping away moment by moment.
But that's just some people's opinion.
It's not an opinion. It's a scientific hypothesis. But let's just say they're half right, which chances are they are. But even if they're only half right, we're not doing any of the things we should be doing in order to prevent it, much less reverse the trend.
But it's also pessimistic. I mean, if it happens, we'll die. But in the meantime, can't we be happy?
Happy?
Yes, happiness. Don't you remember happiness?
Ruth, I'm crawling my way to comfortable. I can't even think about being happy unless I'm doing something to help save this planet, or at least prepare myself and my loved ones for whatever it is that's coming next. We're talking about the end of life as we know it here. Dig in, guys.
These are mushrooms?
Giant portobellos.
The best, a filet mignon of fungi.
If you wanted a filet mignon, why not just eat a filet mignon?
Do you know how many units of caloric energy it takes to make a single calorie of beefsteak?
No, but I have a feeling you're about to tell me.
78 calories of fossil fuel for every calorie of beef protein. The meat industry, along with most of the agribusiness in this country, is completely and utterly unsustainable.
So you're saying we shouldn't eat meat?
Well, meat